You know, in our fallenness, we give the gift to ourselves. Just like you read in the parable in the book, we give the gift to ourselves. We have three resources of life. Each one was a gift from the giver. And I know in my life, I had a tendency to continually give the gift to myself. So if you look at those three resources of life, time, talent, and treasure, it's amazing how we do this. For example, with time, I wasn't about to give my gift of time, my most valuable commodity, to anyone but me for the advancement of my sandcastle kingdom, to build my business, my Cruise International, and my auctioning all over the world. And that led to my talent. My talent was auctioning, brokering, deal making, leading, being CEO and owner of my organization, to make sure that we sold what we were intending to sell all over the world. And then with my treasures, I would only give to something if maybe they were going to put me on the board or wanted me to do this or wanted to recognize me in that. And maybe you've been there as well. When I look at that, it's really sad. It's sad that a kid who grew up going to church 3 times a week would catch that kind of a thing. But I separated ministry from marketplace. I had no idea how God would want to use my time outside of a Sunday morning. I had no idea how God would want to use my talent outside of the auction business. I had no idea how God would want to use more than the money I would give as a token in an offering plate. But something radically changed in my life when I surrendered all 3 resources of my life to the giver. See, I had been trusting in the gifts and not the giver. And when I surrendered my time to the giver, I began to be restored to authenticity. I began to realize that 168 hours a week were to reveal the heart of God to other people and actually discover Him there as well. When I surrendered my talent to the giver, I began to have my talent restored to authenticity. I began to see signs that maybe God wanted to use my leadership skills and my talent and my communication abilities to advance His kingdom, to advance His heart in other people. And God did care about an auction. He did care about a deal. And then when I surrendered my treasure, when I let God not have a token, but have 100% of my treasures, He began to restore my treasures to authenticity, to reflect the design of the designer. And it's still amazing to me to this day what that transformation did in my life when I quit giving the gift to myself and I started to use God's gifts to serve others, faithfully administering His grace in its various forms. As your group goes through this chapter in the workbook, I would hope that you would begin to see how maybe you've been giving the gift to yourself. And maybe today could be the beginning of you surrendering your gifts to the giver.